मैं क्यों लिखता हूँ story introduction. The famous writer Agyeya ji has clarified through this lesson where the inspiration to write comes from. In this essay, it is explained that the inner compulsion of the writer compels him to write, and the writer can write well about that which he can directly see. The writer was a science student, and the writer had only heard about the effects of the radioactive explosion in the city of Hiroshima, Japan. When he went to Japan, he saw the affected area and saw a black shadow in the shape of a man on a stone. The scientific form of that radioactive explosion came before his eyes, and the author got the knowledge about India. He wrote down that incident as a poem while sitting on the train. मैं क्यों लिखता हूँ story summary. Why do I write? According to the author, this question seems very easy, but actually, it is very difficult. The true and real answer is related to the writer's own inner life. It is not easy to describe in detail in some sentences, and perhaps it is not even possible. But the author can describe some such sentences, which will be useful for everyone. The reason behind the author's book is known, so his answer is specific. He wants to know why he writes. The answer to this question cannot be found by the writer without writing something, because only by writing does the writer recognize the inner motivation that has caused him to write something. The author feels that he is writing something to get rid of that internal constraint. The author feels that all authors are not authors, and all works written by them are not within the scope of creation. One reason is also true that some writers write under the pressure of people after becoming famous. External constraints can be in the form of editors' requests, publishers' demands, authors' own financial needs, etc. In writing, the character of the writer and his discipline are very important. Some writers are so lazy that they can't even write without external pressure. For example, someone wakes up in the morning and stays in bed till the alarm rings. What I am saying is that some writers, despite having the ability to write, cannot write without pressure from someone. It is difficult to describe the inner helplessness of an author. The author is a student of science, and his regular education is also in science. The author had theoretical knowledge of the atom first, but when the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, the author read detailed news about it and its after effects. It was natural for anyone to rebel against this futile use of science. The author has also written something about it in the article, but the helplessness at the level of experience is beyond intellectual understanding. That is, the author wrote the article at the level of intellectual understanding, but writing at the level of experience is a different thing. Once the author got an opportunity to visit Japan. Going there, he also saw Hiroshima and that hospital, where people injured by radium were suffering for years. In this way, the author had direct experience. The author felt that experience is a deep thing for a creator. That's why he didn't write anything immediately after seeing everything in Hiroshima. One day the writer was walking on the road and saw that there was a long bright shadow on a burnt stone. He understood that a person must have been standing there at the time of the explosion, and the rays of radioactive material scattered by the explosion must have stopped in him, and those rays must have vaporized that person. That is why the shadow part of the stone must have been formed by the burning of that person. Seeing this, the author felt that the entire tragic incident was written in stone. Seeing that shadow felt like a slap to the writer. At that moment, the author came to experience an atomic explosion, and he became a victim of the Hiroshima explosion. The author came to India and wrote a poem on Hiroshima while sitting on a train. The writer is not concerned about whether the poem is good or bad. This experience is important for him, through which he understands why the writer writes. Dear students, if you found this explanation helpful, please share this video with your friends so they can also benefit from it. I've included links to summaries of other lessons in the description. Be sure to check those out as well. For more lesson explanations, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.